day. So, I am just letting y'all know that is a particularly heinous time for Mercury in retrograde. We are in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. It started today and it goes until August 11th of 2025. Those of you who don't believe in retrograde, on with your bad selves. However, I did hear an astrologer. I'm not an astrologer, but I do follow a lot of astrologers on social media, and the word on the street is that this retrograde could bring about some deception and manipulation. Of course, that's always possible in the way of the world. So, if you do hear from someone you haven't heard from in a minute, Mercury retrograde. If there is some miscommunication, Mercury retrograde. If there is some travel delays or disruptions, Mercury retrograde. If there are some technology breakdowns, even something small, like for example, today I tried to change the sound, the ringtone on my text on my phone, and I couldn't change it. I don't know why, I don't know what that was about. Mercury retrograde. I always call it the X effect because a lot of the times you hear from ex friends, ex partners, ex lovers, ex situationships, or, just someone you haven't talked to in a long time. So if that happens, you guys, be mindful that whoever comes around, could have some kind of something up their sleeve. Um, or they're not telling you the whole truth. They could flat out be lying to you or trying to deceive you. So, yeah, just look out for that, and go about your merry self, go about your merry way. Don't necessarily be scared. Also, word is on the street during retrograde that it is not a good time to start anything new, to sign a contract. I'm not saying don't do any of those things. Um, just be clear in your communication. Make sure that everybody's on the same page, that you read things thoroughly before you sign them. Okay. And if you're traveling anywhere, first of all, it's ill advised, especially if you're in America, especially because there have really been a lot of plane crashes. So just be careful out there and make sure you lock up your luggage if you can, if you have to travel now. Be careful out there, you guys. If you don't believe in retrograde, cool, on with yourself. But those of you who have had experiences like me, and for some particular reason, in my personal life, I almost always am wanting to travel during a retrograde. I don't know why this happens to me. And of course, it always gets delayed. So, um, but yeah, I remember traveling during a retrograde one time, you guys. Hey, everybody. I traveled to Colorado with one of my friends, and I remember our hotel was like on Tower Street or something like that, Tower card in the tarot, and it really did not go well. Okay, turns out we're not friends anymore. This friend who I went on this little trip with, she turned out to be really kind of a frenemy, and we were not very good at making plans. I wanted to plan everything ahead of time. And, my friend at the time, she didn't want to plan anything. So there was this miscommunication there, this communication breakdown. We ended up getting into it, and she took off with the hotel key. It was a disaster, okay? Her and I are not friends anymore because I saw her true colors. But it was a damn disaster, and nothing was planned out. So we didn't really end up doing a whole lot. Our hotel was really far away from everything. So just be advised, if you're going to be traveling, make sure you do all your planning and look into everything. Don't get scammed. And just be careful out there, you guys. If you're driving during a retrograde, this always scares me. Um, Pay attention to all the signs. Pay attention, take your time, and make sure you're reading all the signs clearly and everything like that. So, It's retrograde again. And yeah, I'm kind of freaking out because, oh, I mean, I'm not freaking out. I'm just extra like hyper vigilant of the fact that somebody could come back into my life and try and lie or manipulate or deceive or whatever. So that's what the word is on the street. And it, you have to go on with your life. If you have to move or travel during retrograde, you got to do what you got to do. If you have to talk to people from the past, just make sure that you're communicating clearly. My cats are fighting. Make sure you're communicating clearly. Make sure that they understand you and that you understand them. And, just so that tempers aren't flaring during this time. And it's always a good thing to use your right words. So always use your right words. Always try and speak with integrity and be gentle and understanding to other people. And that ought to try and clear up, most things. But the thing that I've also noticed, because, Mercury is the planet of communication, sometimes tables can turn. Like, for example, if you were the one always reaching out to someone, they might be the ones reaching out to you, and vice versa. Like I just always, in my personal experience of retrograde, because it is a time of like reminiscing, like you're reminiscing about people. You could be dreaming about people. You could be thinking a lot about your ancestors or people who've passed away and things like that, reminiscing a lot. And so, yeah, tables could be turned insofar as unexpected communication, people, maybe acting the way, like role reversal, if that makes sense, in relationship dynamic role reversal. So, and that's something that I have literally been experiencing during retrograde. But yeah, I'm always like nostalgic. Like I'm like looking through photo albums. That's my current experience, because with retrograde, the way that it works, especially for me, um, I I have the retrograde feelings of nostalgia and hearing from people like a week before. It's called pre-shadow and post-shadow Mercury retrograde. So like a few days before it happens, I'm already kind of feeling the effects, and then a few days after, I feel the effects. So, but we're past the pre-shadow phase and we're fully into the retrograde now. Yeah, so it is a good time to do, since we're already kind of reminiscing about stuff. Now you guys are going to do what you want to do. I'm just putting it out there in my experience during this time. It's good to finish projects that you've already started. And for me, what I've been doing is I have a bunch of art pieces that are not finished or they're broken, and I'm fixing my pieces of art that I've started, and I'm trying to finish those projects. So it's a really good time for reflecting on, because you're already in that stage of reminiscing. It's a really good time to do an overhaul of a projects that you have going on. And it's a really good time to kind of finish things and reassess, right? It's not necessarily the best time to start projects or to take on anything new. And if you do have to start a project or do something new from now until August 11th, just be mindful that that project or that thing that you do, like if you get a new job or take on a new hobby, you might not want to do it after retrograde when Mercury stations direct. So just keep that in mind, don't overwhelm yourself with new things during this time. But of course, you're going to do what you want to do. You just know that you might not continue to do them once Mercury stations direct. Yeah, but if you get a text from your ex and you don't want to hear from them, just be careful, because they could be lying or deceiving or manipulating. I mean, people can always be doing that, but especially now during this time, there might be something that you don't know. And as Matthew Hussey always says, if somebody comes back into your life after a long period of time, you don't know who they are anymore. You have to get to know who they are. And that's the same for family, friends, or ex-partners. If you've lost touch with someone and after a long period of time, you're going to want to catch up, but you're also going to want to know, have they changed at all? Are they the same? You have to get to know them again. So that's just just putting that out there. But I haven't really had anything bad happened during retrograde. I mean, it's just started today, but like I said, the post-shadow phase is kind of one of the most important parts, and that's like the few days before it starts. So, but yeah, I've really been feeling it. Like, and I haven't even been tracking retrograde for this year. I haven't been paying attention. I didn't even know that it was going to happen. A lot of the times I look ahead. Oh, okay, retrograde's happening here. It just kind of snuck up on me. And I'm already like, oh, that's why I feel like I want to finish my old projects. Oh, that's why I'm looking through photo albums and you know, reading all my old writings and stuff like that. That heavily explains why I heard from someone who I haven't heard from in like 5 years in my Instagram. That explains all of that stuff. That's typical retrograde stuff right there. So, but yeah, okay, be mindful and let me know if you guys have had any retrograde experiences, yeah, either currently or in the past. Just let me know. All right, I'm gonna pull some cards. I'll pull some cards for you guys. And I'm just chilling here. You know, I'm not like wearing the wings or anything. We'll see if we can get some tarot cards for the retrograde. Let's see. Let's get some tarot cards for the collective for retrograde. What could the collective be dealing with? Oh, okay. So we have the Five of Cups. This is major. The Five of Cups is definitely retrograde energy because it's looking back at the past. It's old pain here. The Five of Cups, I'll read for you what it says. You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope. So it's definitely a time of looking back at past relationships and maybe feeling disappointed. They call this the crying over spilled milk card. So if you find yourself like reminiscing or thinking back onto old relationships or old pain or stuff like that, maybe feeling bad about it, just know that could be the retrograde, okay? Five of Cups, old pain, old hurt, old sorrows, old lovers, like I said before, pains of the past. Or that's kind of part of the reason why we go back to old things, because we're like, you know, that didn't go the way that I wanted it to, that didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. I want to fix it so that it's better. Nine of Cups. Ooh, wow. And actually, you know, retrograde can be really, really good because it can lead you towards fulfillment, especially if it's like, oh, I feel bad about the way that went down or how that project turned out. I want to make it better. I want to fix it. I want to feel better about it. Nine of Cups with that fulfillment there. I love that. Three of Swords, once again, it's talking about old pain and wanting to feel better about old pain. Three of Swords, that it can be an emotional time, especially if you're, you know, thinking back to old times, things like that. Trying to feel better about things that have happened in the past, or heartaches, or emotional pain, or grief. This isn't always heartache. This can be grief. So a lot of a lot of the collective could be trying to transmute old pain or old heartache during this time. Nine of Cups. Going after a dream. And then we have, ooh, the Seven of Swords reversed. Some of y'all could get an apology out there. So this is very much, this is the Chariot and the Seven of Swords, but it came out in reverse. So feeling stuck in mud. Mercury retrograde can be known to things move really slowly during this time. It can almost be like you're not moving at all, like you're not doing things at all, like you're not making momentum in your life, but you are. Like you're going back and you're retooling things in your life. Also potentially getting apologies from people or feeling apologetic, okay? So yeah, if you get an apology from someone who did you dirty, that's some retrograde energy right there. I'm gonna get one more card. Ooh. Some of us could be feeling upset about the things that we remember. Okay, but you could be turning that pain or that frown upside down as well during this period of time. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I just thought I would check in with you guys, let you know it's retrograde. So I hope you guys all have a really, really good retrograde, and I'll see you all at the next live.